So here's the tile patterns video, the extra supplement part. If you didn't understand that and needed some more review. So here's another example. So again, here's figure 0, figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. And we need to figure out these two, figure 0 and figure 4. Okay, so again, what I notice is that right here, I have 1 square. Then there's a 2 by 2 square. Then there's a 3 by 3 square. Okay, so this is 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and 3 by 3. And then each one of them has these 2 squares on top. That doesn't ever change. Okay? So if I look at the figure number, it's figure 1 is 1 by 1, figure 2 is 2 by 2, figure 3 is 3 by 3. So then that must mean figure 4 is 4 by 4. Okay? And then it has to have those 2 squares on the top, where one of them is hanging off. Okay? So then we can see the total there would be, well, first of all, it's 4 by 4. So that's 16 there, plus 2, that's 18. Okay, that's 9 there, plus 2, that's 11. That's 4 there, plus 2, that's 6. And then that's 3 of them there. Okay? Now let's just keep following the pattern. So remember, if it's 1, it's 1 by 1, 2, it's 2 by 2, so that's 0, there must not be any squares on top, right? But then we have to have our 2 little squares. So the first one is just 2. Okay? Now, let's figure out the pattern. So from here to here, it's plus 1. From here to here, plus 3. From here to here, plus 5. Okay, from here to here, plus 7. Okay, and it keeps going, then plus 9, then plus 11. So if I had to fill out a table, okay, starting here at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, starting at 0, we started with 2. Then at 1, it's 3, then 6, then 11, then 18, and we'd have to figure out the rest. So remember, from here to here, it's plus 7, and we said that after plus 7, we must be doing plus 9, then plus 11. Okay, so then 18 plus 9, 27. Then 27 plus 11, 38. Okay, so that's filling out the table. But now we have to create this quick sketch, right? Okay, so I know, let's say for figure 100, I know that this little box right here, the length of the side is the figure number. So for figure 100, we've got a bunch of squares here, that it's going to be 100 by 100. Okay? And then I'll always again have those 2 little boxes hanging out the side. Okay? Now to figure out the total, right, I have to do 100 times 100. Because remember, to figure out the total tiles in a rectangle or a square, you do one side times the other. And then I have to add those 2 on the side. 100 times 100, that's 10,000. And then add the 2, that's 10,002 tiles. Okay, now the very last step, create the function, right? Okay, so again, going to each one, if it's figure 1, it's 1 times 1, right? So x times x, because remember the figure number is represented by x. So figure 2, it's 2 by 2, or x times x, and x times x. Also the same thing here, x times x. Okay, so if our function, the first part is x times x. Because to figure out the total here, I had to do one side times the other. 100 times 100, so x times x. And then I had to add these 2 on the side. So then it's plus 2. Plus 2. So now x times x is x squared plus 2. And there's my function for that one. So that one's a little easier, right? That's the one's a little bit more complicated because there's some more parts to it, more moving pieces. Because it's not like figure 4 is a 4 by 4 square, it's actually one bigger than that. So that's why I had to do x plus 1, whereas this one, the figure number is how many there is in one side. Whereas this one, in that square, figure 4 had at least one more square there, so I had to add 1 to the x. And then we had to take x plus 1 and x plus 1 and multiply those 2, right? So we actually did x plus 1 times x plus 1, and we had to use the box to multiply those two. Okay, then we added the bottom here, okay, because remember that increased every time. And if it was figure 4, there was 6. If it was figure 3, there was 5. It was always 2 more than the figure number. So we did x plus 2. So we added x plus 2, and that's how we got our equation. Okay. Okay, so one more example for this supplement tile pattern video. Okay, again, I'm looking at the figure number, and we're looking for that pattern, right? So first, I notice figure 1, there is 1 box. Figure 2, there's a 2 by 2 box. You notice how I'm looking for that 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 box, the square every time? 3 by 3. And as you might guess, if it's 4, it's 4 by 4. All right, but then again, we have these 3 squares down here each time, so that doesn't seem to change. Okay, so if this is 4, 4 by 4, 3, 3 by 3, 2, 2 by 2, 1, 1 by 1, well, 0 must have nothing, right? Except we have to have these 3 squares at the bottom each time. Okay, so there's our 3 squares. Now, fill in our table. So let's make a quick table. Actually, we'll do it over here. Save ourselves. Oh, and actually, sorry, we had to make our figure 5. So we're going to do those 3 squares on the bottom. This don't change. And remember, 4 by 4 is the side goes by the figure number. So this figure 5 is 5 by 5. And you notice it hangs right on the corner there. So make this a little bigger than the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and there's our 5 by 5 square plus our 3. Okay, so let's make our table. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's go to 6 and 7, just because we want to go a little bit further than the actual how many figures we have. So 0, we're starting with 3. Okay, 1, we're going to 4. 2, we counted out, we have 7. And then for 3, we counted out, we have, let's see, 12. Okay, and if you want to continue the rest of this on your own, click pause and try this out yourself. Because remember, you're going to have to fill out the rest of the table, draw figure 100, and then create the function. Y equals our function, right? So go ahead and pause and try it on your own. Okay, so now let's continue. So again, figure 3 had 12. Figure 4, let's see, 4 by 4 is 16 plus 3, it's 19. Okay, 5 by 5, that's 25 plus 3 is 28. And then let's look for the pattern so we can just continue it without having to actually draw another figure. So remember, this is plus 1, then we have, okay, then we have plus 3, plus 5, plus 7, plus 9, plus 11, plus 13. So first we add 11 to 28, which would be 39, and then we add 13 to the 39, which is 52. Okay, so now figure 100, we know that we have this little box that's on the top, and it goes, the dimensions or the sides go by the figure number. So figure 100 would be a box here. Remember, this is just a sketch, doesn't have to be perfect. And it'd be 100 by 100. And then we always have this little box of 3 hanging off the side, right on the corner. Okay? So now, how do we figure out the total? Well, we have to do 100 times 100. And then we'd have to add 3. So 100 times 100, 10,000. Plus 3, 10,003 tiles. Sorry, that looks terrible, but it's 10,003 tiles, okay? Now again, just like we said before, the sides of the square follow the figure number. It's not like one more than the figure number, right? It's the exact, so it's x and x, x and x, and then plus this 3. Okay, so x times x, then plus 3, so it's simply y equals x squared plus 3. So as long as the little box up here follows the figure number, it's just going to be x squared. But if it's like one more than the figure number, then you'd have to do x plus 1. If it's 2 more, then you'd have to do x plus 2, and then you'd have to do the box like I showed you in the first example. Okay, so if you're done with this video, go back to the original video and continue watching to go on to the rest of page 2.